upon his soul. We reach here, chapter 26 of Kitab al-Hayd. باب الدليل على أن من تيقن الطهارة ثم شك في الحدث فله أن يصلي بطهارته. Chapter 26 says, proof that one can offer salah, prayer, without repeating ablution if he is sure of his ablution but only doubted that he has lost his ablution by having hadith. It says here, chapter 26 in Kitab al-Hayd. We're on page 149 in the English translation, the Dar es-Salaam print. باب الدليل على أن من تيقن الطهارة ثم شك في الحدث فله أن يصلي بطهارته. The author says, this chapter heading, that he wants to speak on the dalil, the proof and the evidence that those who have tahara, whether it's wudu, whether it came from ghusl, however your tahara came, whether it's ablution or not, you do not have to make a new tahara unless you're sure that you broke your tahara. I think I broke my tahara. I feel funny. I have doubts. Waswasa, whisperings from shaitan, which many people have. My stomach rumbled. I feel funny. I feel maybe I went to sleep. Maybe I didn't. I'm not sure. I can't remember. What's important is that you have shak. You have doubt. You have doubt about your tahara being broken. And what's important is that you have yaqeen, is that you did make tahara in a correct way. I made wudu, I made ghusl, I performed the tahara in a proper manner. Then something happened, something took place that made me have doubt. So the author says this chapter is going to be regarding the reality that you don't have to make a new tahara, that you shouldn't make a new tahara if this is the case. And this is a very extremely practical issue on a daily basis. I'm not sure of this, but I'm sure of that. Khairan, inshallah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. The author, rahimahullah, he then says, hadith number 204, hadith Abdullah ibn Zayd ibn Asim al-Ansari, radiyallahu anhu, أنه شكى إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الرجل الذي يخيل إليه أنه يجد الشيء في الصلاة فقال لا ينفتل أو لا ينصرف حتى يسمع صوتا أو يجد ريحا. Hadith number 204 says, narrated Abbad ibn Tamim radiyallahu anhu. My uncle Abdullah ibn Zayd ibn Asim al-Ansari asked Allah's Messenger ﷺ about a person who imagined to have passed wind during salah, prayer. Allah's Messenger replied, he should not leave his salah unless he hears sound or smells something. Once again, the hadith tells us, Abdullah ibn Zayd ibn Asim al-Ansari says, أنه شكى إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. He complained to the Messenger of Allah, asking about something that bothers him or bothers someone else. He asked the Messenger of Allah about something that was burdensome, something that was troublesome, a problem that I'm having or is a common problem that many people have. And that problem is, a man, he says, يُخَيَّلُ إِلَيْهِ. A man thinks, a man feels, a man imagines that his wudu is broken, that his tahara is broken in the salah. Everybody understand this? He's praying and all of a sudden he remembers, wait, I didn't make wudu. Wait, I didn't wipe my socks. I didn't wash my feet. My stomach is upset. Wind, so on and so forth. Everybody understand this? Everybody got this or not? Okay? Someone imagines and someone thinks about their tahara not being valid in the salah. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ, upon hearing this complaint, this question, he says, لا ينفتل. He says he should leave. Do not slam out. Do not leave the salah. Do not go make another wudu. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it until you have certainty. And that certainty can come from more than one way. Whether it is something that you smell, an odor, or actual sound of the wind leaving your body. In other words, i.e., yaqeen. That's what's meant. That's what's what? That's what's meant. It's not restricted to those two things. It is not restricted to just two things. Somebody can be sure that they passed the wind without hearing something or without smelling something. Everybody understand this? Rather, the Prophet said he gave two samples of yaqeen. Two samples of what? Of certainty. Everybody understand this? Not saying that nothing else. I'm sure I passed the wind, but I didn't smell it, I didn't hear it. La. No. Khairan inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the meaning of this hadith. An-Nawawi rahimahullah, he says regarding this hadith in al-Minhaj, taking you further than that which is apparent from the hadith, he says, وَهَذَا الْحَدِيثُ أَصْلٌ مِنْ أُصُولِ الْإِسْلَامِ وَقَاعِدَةٌ عَظِيمَةٌ مِنْ قَوَائِدِ الْفِقْهِ وهي أن الأشياء يحكم ببقائها على أصولها حتى يتيقن خلاف ذلك ولا يضر الشك الطارئ عليها فمن ذلك مسألة الباب التي ورد فيها الحديث وهي أن من تيقن الطهارة وشك في الحدث حكم ببقائه على الطهارة ولا فرق بين حصول هذا الشك في نفس الصلاة وحصوله خارج الصلاة. هذا مذهبنا ومذهب جماهير العلماء من السلف والخلف. وحكي عن مالك رحمه الله تعالى روايتان إحداهما أنه يلزمه الوضوء إن كان شكه خارج الصلاة ولا يلزمه إن كان في الصلاة والثانية يلزمه بكل حال. وحكيت الرواية الأولى عن الحسن البصري وهو وجه شاذ محكي عن بعض أصحابنا وليس بشيء. النووي رحمه الله, he says this hadith أصل من أصول الإسلام. He said is a major fundament, a major principle of the deen, this hadith. In other words, this hadith could have and should have been in 40 hadith of Nawawi. This hadith would have easily been in the 40 hadith. There lies no doubt. We're not saying here, making it, just, al-muhim, what's important is that there's no doubt the other hadith that could have been taken out of 40 hadith of Nawawi, and this could have been in it, and it would have been better. This hadith is authentic, and it is more comprehensive than many other hadith in that book. Khairan inshallah, perfection is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So An-Nawawi himself, he says that this hadith is aslun min usul al-Islam. It's one of the fundamental what? Principles of Islam. So this also teaches you, oh you student of knowledge, oh hadith disciple, is that if you memorize and if you study 40 hadith, which is a major fa'idah, a benefit, it doesn't stop there. There are more fundamental hadiths. There are more hadith which are considered to be usul and qawaid. Don't stop there. There are tons of hadiths that are just like the hadith in the 40 hadith of Nawawi, even bigger and better. And some of them even clear, even more clear. Some of them more authentic. Everybody understand this? The book of Imam Nawawi, like any other metin, is meant as a means of introduction. Is meant as a means of getting you acquainted with something. A stepping stone. Those hadith will remain with you for the rest of your life. So it's much more than a stepping stone, those hadiths, but the book itself. A metin is only meant to introduce you, and that's it. You're not meant to get stuck on the metin. Everybody understand this? And keep taking the same metin and studying the same metin and 50 different explanations over and over. La. Anything that you're studying, usul al-fiqh, mustalah al-hadith, aqidah, tafsir, is meant as a what? Tamheed. Is a madkhal, is an entrance to lead you into actually studying and taking the hadiths directly. Everybody understand this? Khairan inshallah ta'ala. So therefore he says this hadith is a fundamental principle of the deen. He says وَقَاعِدَةٌ عَظِيمَةٌ مِنْ قَوَائِدِ الْفِقْهِ, and is one of the maxims. It's a what? A legal maxim of fiqh. Everybody understand? It's a legal maxim of what? Of fiqh. I'm doubtful, did I divorce my wife the third time or not? I can't remember. I'm not sure. We had an argument. She's your wife until you have certainty that you what? Everybody understand this? Zakah, any issue of fiqh can be taken back to this what? This hadith. This what? This hadith. And the hadith produces the principle. Everybody understand this? So the students of knowledge, the disciples and the disciples, they say, Ya Shaykh, mal farq bayna usul al-fiqh wa qawaid al-fiqh. What's the difference between usul al-fiqh and qawaid al-fiqh? This hadith teaches you one of the what? When the difference is, a mufti can give 1,000 fatwas based off of this one hadith. You give 1,000 fatwas based off this one principle. Huh? And al-ashya, he says that things remain as they are until proven otherwise. Proven. Not I think, I feel, it's doubt, but it's what? Yaqeen, of the opposite. Everybody clear on this or not? Pay close attention, student of hadith. This is a hadith that you want to understand thoroughly. 1,000 masail fiqhiyah can be based off of this one issue. Everybody clear on this or not? Those who go to the moon, the space station 2017, Allah Alam, the dunya remains another 100 years, 1,000 years, whatever technology they bring up, it's yaqeen until something else comes and removes that yaqeen. Doubt does not trump yaqeen. Everybody understand this? And the thing remains as it is until it is clearly proven to be otherwise. A phone, a tablet, wireless, overseas, everybody understand this? It doesn't change. It doesn't what? It doesn't change. You buy something in person in the traditional marketplace, and he has a sa', a mud, a cup, a bag, the traditional way of buying and selling, like in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, or you buy something electronically, you buy something virtually. Everybody understand this? Online, virtually. The ahkam, the rulings, they don't what? They don't change. Everybody understand this? The modern day things, they change, but the ruling doesn't what? Doesn't change. It's yours until proven to be someone else's. Everybody understand this? The product is not yours until you make the purchase. It's in your shopping cart. It's in your what? It's in your cart. It is not yours until you press submit the order. Everybody understand this? Everybody got this or not? You clear on this? And this is very important to understand in a modern age when Islam and the Islamic Sharia is being attacked. And people, they think that it's outdated and it's ancient and it's old and it's stuck in the past. And Islam was over 1,400 years ago. Everything is different in the dunya now. We need new fiqh. We need new rulings. Everybody understand this? These things, they don't what? They don't change, whether it's a hand-in-hand purchase or something that's virtual. It remains until proven otherwise. Khairan, inshallah. An-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala says this is a major qa'idah of fiqh. And this qa'idah is أن الأشياء يحكم بوقائها على أصولها. He says that all things remain as they are by default, the rule of thumb. Hatta, until we have yaqeen, that it is the opposite. Proven until, innocent until? Proven guilty. Until what? Proven guilty. We think you got locked up, you got arrested. That means nothing. The police locked me up means what? It means nothing. In the court of law, it has to be proven that I did that crime. Even if the police caught me with the gun in my hand and the bloody knife in my hand. In the court of law, it has to be what? Proven. How is it proven? Witness, evidence, confession, etc. Everybody understand this? Innocent until proven guilty. Everybody clear on this? Now, do the people uphold this qa'idah? That's a different story. Do they uphold this rule? That's a different story. Do they abide by that? That's a what? That's a different story. But in the deen, this is the ruling of the deen. Everybody understand this? He then says, rahimahullah ta'ala, and there's nothing wrong or nothing will take place when a person has doubt. When a person has doubt about something. I'm unsure. There's a doubt. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not sure. You stick with the what? Yaqeen, the asl. And that is, it is halal. That is, I did make wudu. That is, she is my wife. That is, it is my property. Or any other issue that you can think about. Moving forward, rahimahullah ta'ala, then says, and from these he says, from this is the issue of the specific issue of the hadith. And that is tahara. A person is doubtful about his tahara. The tahara remains until he has yaqeen that he broke his wudu. He then says, there's no difference here with regards to being inside of the salah or outside of the salah. No difference. He says, our madhab, and the madhab of most of the Shafi'i ulama, and most of the ulama from the pious predecessors and the later generations. They held the view is that if a person is outside of the salah and his stomach rumbles, I'm not sure if my wudu is broken, the wudu what? Remains. And the same ruling applies to inside of salah. The hadith only talks about what? Inside the salah. He says most of the ulama hold the view that it also pertains to outside of the salah. Everybody understand this? They hold the view that it pertains to both situations. Everybody clear on this? He then says, as far as Imam Malik, rahimahullah, listen carefully, he says that there are two versions, two riwayas, two things that people have narrated from him. Did he actually say, is it authentic? Al-Muhim, Ruwiya. Some people say Malik said this and some people said that. The first is that he must make wudu if he's outside of the salah. The first view is that Imam Malik, he's saying, what the people heard from him or what they think that he said, is that if the person has doubt about wudu outside of the salah, he has to do what? Make wudu. And that's not the opinion of those other ulama, from the salaf and the khalaf. Everybody understand this? And the second riwayah is he has to make wudu regardless. يَلْزَمُهُ بِكُلِّ حَالٍ. In other words, the second view clearly goes against the what? The hadith. It goes against the what? It goes against the hadith. طيب, everyone understand this? So if you're a student of knowledge and you're studying this hadith and a nas, the text is clear, it's authentic, this is an example in which it's impermissible for a person to say, Ana Maliki. I'm Maliki. Even though the specific hadith clearly proves that in this issue, this view or this opinion of Imam Malik is not that what? At all. Rather, mukhalif. It's going against the dalil. So this is an issue in which a person cannot say, I'm Hanafi. We follow the Hanafi madhab, or Shafi'i, or Imam Ahmed, or Bin Baz, or Uthaymeen, where the dalil is clearly against the view. And that's not the case in which the dalil is not going against it. It's a different story. I've studied Imam Malik's madhab. I went to North Africa. I studied in Tunisia. This is the books that I study. I'm Maliki, my usul, my training. But when the dalil is clear, outside of the view of Imam Malik, or outside of the madhab of the Maliki ulama, that's what I take. If that's your definition of Hanafi or Maliki, then there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing what? There's nothing wrong with that. That's not haram. That's not a bid'ah to do that. That's your system of training. That's how you were educated. That's what you're proficient in. Everybody understand this? Now, I'm going to be a staunch bigot. Imam Malik's view is superior no matter what. Then we say, La yajuz. You can't say, Ana Maliki. I'm Hanbali. I follow Imam Ahmed. Everybody understand this? We've explained this before with detail, with tafsil. And it's very important because many students of knowledge today, they don't have the proper understanding of these issues. They do not have the proper tasawwur of these issues. Those who say that you have to study a madhab. You must study a madhab. You should study a madhab. And those who say you can't study a madhab. You can't cling or attach yourself to a madhab. It's bid'ah, it's haram. Both of these views are incorrect, absolutely. It has to be detail. Has to be what? Has to be detail. And there lies no doubt the benefits of studying a madhab. There are benefits in following a madhab. There are harms in studying a madhab. And there are harms in following a madhab. He then says, rahimahullah ta'ala, and this view, or the first view of those two of Imam Malik, was also narrated from Al-Hasan al-Basri. طيب إن شاء الله. قال أصحابنا ولا فرق في الشك بين أن يستوي الاحتمالان في وقوع الحديث وعدمه أو يترجح أحدهما أو يغلب على ظني فلا وضوء عليه بكل حال. قال أصحابنا ويستحب له أن يتوضأ احتياطا فلو توضأ احتياطا ودام شكه فذمته بريئة. He then says, our ashab, قال أصحابنا, our friends, our companions. He's talking about the Shafi'i ulama. He says, is that there's no difference with regards to the level of doubt that he has. Whether it's 60-40, 70-30, 50-50, he says there's no difference. In other words, when you have doubt, you could have what? It could be what? It's not yaqeen. It's not what? It's not yaqeen. Everybody understand this? And included with shak is that which is called ghalabatul dhann. Ghalabatul dhann, in which I think in most cases, ghalabatul dhann, everybody understand this? Is a type of what? Shak. It's a type of doubt. And from another aspect, it's also a type of yaqeen. Everybody understand this? I'm almost sure. And from one aspect, we look at it that that's a type of what? No, it's a type of doubt. I'm almost sure, but I'm not sure. That's the type of what? Doubt. It's related to what? To shak. Everybody clear on this or not? I'm almost what? I think so. Try this out. I'm pretty sure. Everybody understand this? And then from another aspect, that ghalabat al-dhann is closer to certainty. Everybody clear on this or not? So he says here, regardless whether it's equal or not, tayyib. And then he says, our ashab, these ulama, they say, يُسْتَحَبُّ لَهُ أَنْ يَتَوَضَّ احْتِيَاطًا. It's also recommended for him to make wudu to be safe. And that view or that precaution clearly goes against the what? As well. The Prophet ﷺ did not say, make wudu. Rather, making wudu and feeding into the doubt will lead to more doubt and less certainty. Everybody understand this? So this also goes to show you how there's certain precautions and certain things that have been placed by fuqaha which seem to be helpful, but sometimes those things, those precautionary things can also what? It can be a hindrance, a hardship, let alone go against the actual dalil. That's the whole purpose of the hadith, is to make things easy. Is to make things what? Make things easy. So if you say make wudu just to be sure, then from one aspect, that's help. You're covering your tracks, no doubt. But from another aspect, you're breaking the whole wisdom of the what? Of the hadith. Is don't listen to it, don't think about it until you have certainty. Everybody got this or not? Khairan, inshallah. Moving forward. He then says, فَلَوْ تَوْضَ احْتِيَاطًا مُدَامَ شَكْهُ فَذِمَّتُهُ بَرِيئًا. He says if the person makes wudu out of precaution and he continues to have doubt, then there's no sin upon him. So now that's even worse now. I had doubt, I made wudu again, and then I still have doubt. So I went against the sunnah, and I still have doubt. You lost. You have nothing now. Everybody understand this? What was the point of you making wudu and you still have what? Everybody got this? It was no faida in you making wudu out of precaution if the person still has what? Doubt. Now some people, they may make wudu out of precaution and they may not have any more doubt. That's a different story. But what he mentioned here is that he says if the person still has doubt, then there's no sin upon him. Was there sin upon him in the beginning? Was his dhimma mashghula fil asl? Everybody understand this? So it's very important to student knowledge. When you're reading these different books, you have the proper understanding how to decipher them. And this deciphering cannot be learnt just overnight. You have to be taught this. You have to be educated in this. You have to sit, you have to study, you have to learn, you have to read and have things explained until you grow strong enough to have the ability to decipher it yourself. Khairan, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, rahimahullah ta'ala, وَإِنْ عَلِمَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ أَنُّ كَانَ مُحْدَثًا أو محدثا فهل تجزئ تلك طهارة الواقع في حال الشك فيه وجهان لأصحابنا أصحهما عندهم أنه لا تجزي لأنه كان مترددا في نيته والله أعلم. He then says, wa alaykum salam, another issue pertaining to this hadith is what? If that after he made wudu, he made salah, or whatever the case may be, he didn't realize, he didn't came to know for sure that he did what? He did break wudu. He did break his what? His wudu. Everybody understand this? So the second wudu that he made, is it valid or not? Some of them, they say that it's invalid because he made wudu without the proper intention. See how confusing it gets now? What type of sense does that make now? He made a valid wudu, but the valid wudu is invalid because he didn't. It's so much safety and ease in just sticking with the what? With the text. Everybody clear on this? Moving forward, rahimahullah ta'ala, he then says, وَأَمَّا إِذَا تَيَقَّنَ الْحَدَثَ وَشَكَّ فِي الطَّهَارَةِ فَإِنَّهُ يَلْزَمُهُ الْوُضُوء بِإِجْمَاعِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Now, what is the opposite of this issue, Sharif? The opposite is what? Of this issue is what? Quickly. Tafadhal Abu Bakr.
He is certain that he did hadith,
He's no, la, not certain. Type. Fadal, continue. Fadal.
If he's certain of it, then he should.
Certain of what?
If he's certain that he passed when.
La. Not even passing when. He's certain that he doesn't have what? Wudu. Passing when?
Yes.
Type. Then
he should make wudu.
not convinced. What's the exact opposite? Not the ruling, but this the mas'ala is that a person is sure that he broke his wudu, doubtful about having wudu. I remember when I used the bathroom. I remember when I what? I remember. I'm not sure if I made wudu or not. That's the exact opposite of the هذا هو. Everybody got this? I made wudu. لا شك لا ريب. No doubt about it, I made wudu. Everybody clear on this? I made what? I made wudu. I remember specifically. But I'm not sure if I fell asleep sitting down or not. We're finished with that issue. We're done. The opposite, the mirror image is what? Which is what? I'm sure that I went to sleep. I'm sure that I ate camel meat. Whatever breaks your wudu. Your madhab on the things that break the wudu. I'm sure that I broke my what? And I can't remember if I made wudu or not. I think I did, but I'm not sure. That's the exact what? Opposite. You got it or not? And it's another way of strengthening your mind and strengthening your fiqh. It's to take an issue that you're studying and do what now, Bakr? Huh? Flip it upside down. It's to do what? No, I never said study the opposite. I never said that. That's what I said, right? There's a difference between the two. Studying the opposite is not necessarily you flipping it upside down. Intabi. You can study the opposite in another hadith, in another fiqh book. But you taking one issue and then doing what? All right, but I got this. You yourself. You got it or not? There's a difference between the two. So take the fiqh issue and do what? Invert it. Everybody got this? And then you study it and deal with it the exact opposite. Everybody got it or not? This is going to give you two things. Number one, it's going to make you smarter in general. Intelligence in general. It's going to make your mind what? Stronger. It's like working out. Everybody understand this? You're going to the gym, right, Sharif? Planet Fitness. Tayyib. Inshallah, you go to the gym, you on a treadmill, you doing this, you doing that. Everybody got this? That's one way of strengthening your body. Everybody understand this? And then, protein. Tayyib. Everybody got this or not? Then you have a way of strengthening your what? Your mind. So this, nothing to do with Islam, it just makes you what? Smarter. When you have the ability to take something and do what? Just like that in your head. And second faida is going to make you stronger in actual what? Actual fiqh, actual deen, actual ilm. Everybody got this? Everybody learn this or not? If you can memorize something and then memorize it and repeat it what? Backwards. It shows you that you got it what? Down pat. No doubt about that. As we saw some of the Quran teachers in the Prophet's masjid, they wouldn't give ijazah to a student until he could recite it backwards. They wouldn't give him the stamp of approval, the certification, until he could recite it backwards. Then you've anta qad hafidht. Not just I've read his Fatiha to Nas once, I forgot it. 2 weeks later, I can't remember Surah Al-Baqarah. They said, I'm hafiz al-Quran. I did khatam. I have ijazah. Fulan gave me ijazah. As most people do today. Everybody understand this? Rather, they would say you have to know it, the whole thing for sure. Sharp. Khairan, inshallah. Moving forward. So this is before we move forward, this is a benefit, inshallah, for disciples. When you go home, all of the different things that we study and talk about, do what? Flip it. Do it backwards yourself. And it's going to make you what? Smarter. It's going to make you quicker. It's going to make you sharper. Maybe a bit difficult in the beginning, just like lifting weights. Your arms are going to be sore, but eventually the muscle mass will what? Grow. When you run, road work. 2 miles is too much. I'm running out of breath. My breath is, my chest is burning. But you keep running, eventually you go what? But don't run too much. You hurt your knees. Moving forward. He then says, then in this situation, he must make wudu, according to all of the Muslims, bi ijma' al-Muslimin. In the second issue, he has to do the exact opposite, and that is to what? To make wudu. To do what? To make wudu. We didn't understand, did we, Saleh? We got lost, right? Talking about running in LA Fitness. The people that say, Mufti, you're taking me off the topic. What are you talking about? If you focus in what? هذا هو. طيب. The exact opposite, he has to do what, Yusuf? He has to make wudu. What's the exact opposite? He's sure that he broke his wudu. Doubtful about? Making wudu. And this is the view of Imam Malik, right? The second view? Who? Not sure. طيب. Who saw it? Not sure. Abu Bakr. He says consensus of all of the ulama. Everybody got this? Consensus of what? All of the ulama. Nawawi rahimahullah, he then says, وأما إذا تيقن أنه وجد منه بعد طلوع الشمس مثلا حدث وطهارة. He says here, ولا يعرف السابق منهما فإن كان لا يعرف حاله قبل طلوع الشمس لازمه الوضوء وإن عرف حاله ففيه أوجه لأصحابنا أشهرهما كذا عندهم أنه يكون بضد ما كان قبل طلوع الشمس. طيب. He then goes on to mention many different issues here with regards to waking up, going to sleep. A person woke up, he went to sleep after Fajr, he had wudu, he broke his wudu, and the list goes on. وعلى هذا فقس. You got the measurement, you got the template, and then you do what? You got to kick it around. You got to play with it yourself and figure it out. And then he goes on to talk about ومن مسائل القاعدة المذكورة أن من شك في طلاق زوجته أو إتق عبده أو نجاسة الماء الطاهر أو طهارة النجس أو نجاسة الثوب أو طعام أو غيره أو إلى آخره. He then says here, And from the issues that pertain to this is one who's doubtful about divorcing his wife, as we said. He's doubtful about what? Divorcing his wife. He's doubtful about manumitting his slave. He's doubtful about water being clean, being pure, thobe, how many rak'at, how many times you made tawaf, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You do what? You apply it. This is the form. The hadith is the what? All these different issues, ins and outs, flan, this, that. That's the what? Everybody got this? Wallahu ta'ala alam. Moving forward to the next chapter. Chapter number 27. The author says, باب طهارة جلود الميتة بالدباغ. حديث ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال وجد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم شاة ميتة أعطيتها أو طيب. We'll stop here tonight, bidnillah. Was running low on time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. Wallahu ta'ala alam.